out in the water, come jump right in, 'cause we going farther than we ever been. I'm out in the water, where I learned to swim, 'cause we going farther than we ever been. I'm out in the water, come jump right in, 'cause we going farther than we ever been. I'm out in the water, come jump right in, we going farther than we ever been.
Boom!
Welcome.
Yo,
Welcome,
what's
welcome.
good?
Ocean waves. I'm gonna kind of get set up here like that. Like, you know. Ocean Waves, episode 26. In a new studio. Boom, boom, boom.
This is the most comfortable I've been.
Yeah, I think it's a good setup.
I'm so not comfortable.
Why not?
Pushed up against the door in the corner, just fetching the
They don't
wolves.
love us
You chose that spot.
for 50
Yeah.
cents a day.
The only time it was different was...
No, I did not. I
no.
actively talked about why am I being put in this spot,
You
and
didn't
I
want to be there?
know exactly why I'm being put in this spot.
Yeah.
However, because it's the same seats.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
However,
if the room was set up where I was right there, then that's how it would be.
So what I'm hearing is next week we're sitting on scared.
You know what?
I like
the
the setup. I like the
You
setup.
know what? Yeah, I think it's a good setup. So, question: should we do projector? I don't know how good Dad made a comment about the projectors being like has to be dark for them to be whatever.
What are you talking about?
Put something there. Should we put a
Yeah.
TV there? Because we could put a decent
We could put a TV.
TV with like a
TV.
Roku stick or whatever. That way we could like AirPlay stuff there if we wanted.
Yeah.
And then we could put another camera view over there if we wanted to.
We don't.
Looking down, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we
sky
need
view.
to. We could also do what you were saying, like add a little box to the bottom of the podcast if we're like showing something. It would take more
Yeah.
editing or whatever, or you screen record, so it makes it easy. I don't know, but so it's between a TV or they use the projector. I don't know which one will be.
Well, projector requires us to install it up there.
Yeah.
Which requires I actually have a board that we could use for it, but
So I guess we'll have to talk with Kita, see what she says.
yeah.
But yep, Ocean Waves 26. You know how I had this thought how the world is right now, like the third dimension. Feels like so the metaphor we use is like GTA 5's been out and 6 is coming, right? So not that it's GTA, but the metaphor of the game, the new game is coming soon, and they know that they're gonna drop a new game, but for now they're like barely updating the one that's going. Like they put very little patchwork in. And that's it. It would be like they're using like the same tactics, same things keep coming around, and it feels like it's like we're at an outdated video game, and they're just like waiting for the next one, and they're like, yeah, just with different things, like
Well, how life feels.
yeah, in certain ways, like just the way how like the elections lining up, the Super Bowl lined up,
Is there an election this year
yeah,
for president?
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
every
shit.
4 years.
Talked about it on the last podcast.
yeah. So it seems
Wasn't
like
there?
it seems like they're gonna try to run Biden again. I don't know why.
I didn't even
Trump
see.
is-
Biden could be dead for all we know. We wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, but I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is what I think is the best candidate, but he has to fund like pretty much the whole thing. Will independent actually win? Probably not. You know, but it just seems like we got these same. They were talking about how the they had like mail-in ballots last time, and they also talked about how there was this dude who went to, I think it was like Congress or something, and showed that he could manipulate the Georgia like voting machines to basically he could do multiple. And last election, someone that was in our vicinity told me that their parents like went to go vote, and then they said that they had already voted. So it was like the one time Georgia goes Democrat or whatever, and then the statement that came out after was that the likelihood of this happening is so low that it doesn't matter. And they're running this. I think they're running the same exact machines for this one again. So it's like that's why I feel like it's like that thing where it's like there'll be like different, like I guess like the Pfizer commercials. Like they got NFL brought to you by Pfizer. It's like at this point by now, if you haven't taken the vaccine, like who's really gonna go take it now? And if you have, like there's some people are gonna keep taking like whatever boosters, but at the end of the day, it's like how much is that ad actually attracting like new people? But it's like the same formula as 2 years ago when they're pushing it, and that's why I feel like just like the world feels like we're in the COVID update. We're in that update of the game, and they're just patching up little patches, but it's the same software, the same things are happening, same similar cycles, and they haven't put out the new game yet. But I feel like it's coming soon with like Apple with the AR goggles and things like that, and then with this new election, like 4 years is like a lot of time. So think about where you were like during COVID to now, and then think about okay, now it's gonna be another 4 years, you know. In one end with the Trump, I remember when Trump was president, gas was lower, you know, and taxes were less. I remember that, you know, that was big things. When Biden became president, we were going around the country and gas was like skyrocketing.
Well, I got to see like a very different, because like a year before we went around the country, I went around the country with Carl.
True.
And the prices were like significantly different, because like it was like $2, like $2.50 a gallon in most states. And then the next year when we went, it was like what, 4 or 5
on average.
Yeah,
On
average is like
yeah.
5, I think.
Yeah, more than that.
You should pull your mic just a little closer, Eddie. Or turn your second red knob up a little bit, or the top red knob. Yep.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yep.
Check.
Anyone else have? Yeah. There you go. Anyone else have an opinion about that?
I have an opinion. I don't know.
Doesn't want to say it on the mic. That's fine. That's cool.
I honestly just don't believe in any of that. I really believe I think it's all bullshit, in my opinion.
Well, like
everything.
part?
The election, it's already decided.
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
mind.
okay, yeah.
Like
yeah.
I don't really think that when you go and you vote, it counts. Like you know how people be like, "Oh, I don't vote because my vote doesn't matter." Then the old guys like, "Every vote matters. Every vote matters." If it was like throw chips in a bin and whatever one has more chips wins, I don't think it matters. Wherever you throw the chips, I think they're just like, "Ah, well, this is what we're doing." So I really don't.
But do you think
any
they've
of
gotten
those-
better or worse at hiding it?
I don't think they care. I think if you want to seek it out, you'll seek it out and you'll find whatever you find. If you don't, you won't. Like,
True.
I was thinking about this the other day. Like, for example, everyone in this room eats meat, right? Most people in the world eat
Pause. Hey. sorry.
meat. Most people in the world eat meat, right? Right? Yes or no?
Right, probably.
I'm assuming
Probably,
yes.
like most
Yes.
people, right? But how many of those people do you think are at least somewhat aware of like the inhumanity, even though it's not animals, or it's animals, it's not humanity, but in the inhumane nature that the animals are treated? Like most people have a good idea that like the slaughterhouses aren't a nice place with slides and ladders. You know what I mean? Like most people are like, this is pretty probably messed up. But most people aren't gonna go and actually look at what it looks like to watch the cow get chainsawed in half that you ate, because you don't care. Most people don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care enough, or they're like, well, it's probably bad, but whatever.
I think it should be a law that, like, for Chick-fil-A, when you're waiting in line for Chick-fil-A, you should go. It should be like, if you go to Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, and you go, there's like the theme park, and then there's like the chocolate world right outside. So that closes an hour after, right? So you get to leave the park and you get to go, and then you can buy like all the different candies, some of the stuff you can't see on the shelf. But in the beginning, when you walk in, they have this little like last ride, and it like takes you through like the beginning of Hershey Park and how they are like Hershey Company and how they make their chocolate and everything they do. And at the end, you get like a little piece or whatever. So you get informed about Hershey. So when you're in line at Chick-fil-A, you should be watching like how does Chick-fil-A get you their product.
Yeah.
And if you still want to eat there, then that's fine.
I would love for you to see like the exact chicken that was slaughtered. Even like a super high tech thing where it's like the chickens are just in there clucking, and you're like, oh, I want the 12 piece. You just hit the button and you see the chicken get shredded and
Pretty
cleaned
sure there are
up.
places like that in other parts of the world.
Like, do you watch
Well,
it happen?
fresh.
Like I know.
Like, are you talking about fresh, or you talking about
Fresh
watching
cut.
like how it
So
gets
this
made?
is a little screwed up of a story, but there was a particular animal that most would consider a pet, and this restaurant in particular,
dog?
you would go pet it. You'd pet it
A
to
fish.
increase its serotonin levels, and then eat it. and then they'd kill it, cook it.
That's honest. Like
True,
most people
that
would
is
say,
honest.
most people would say that
Because
that
you
is
get-
fucked up.
you
right?
get better flavor out of.
They'd be
higher
like, that
serotonin
is fucked up.
levels.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But that is more honest than what we are doing.
Yeah, that's
We're doing some bullshit.
Yeah.
The way we do it is you
There's-
it's a coward's
there's
way
a
out.
picture of a
Wendy's is
happy
chopping
little-
up their cows in squares and sliding them
You know
over.
what I'm saying?
There's a picture of a happy little chicken on Tyson. Like,
Little potatoes.
You should like in the
no happy
future.
little chicken.
Yo, and I actually saw a Rick and Morty thing. It's so funny because I had this idea. It was on Rick and Morty in the new season. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they had this like can of this food, and on the can it showed you the thing that was in it. Did you guys watch the new season?
I haven't watched it, no.
I watched some of it.
Do you want me to tell you what it was or not spoil it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's like
don't
the
spoil it
can,
just in case.
and
It's still
when
there.
they put the can down, it would like do a hologram and show you what it was that was in the can. And I was like, that's exactly how it should be. It should be the honesty of it.
Yeah.
But so my opinion is that it's like that. It's the food thing. Like, you know it's bad. Most people know that there's probably effed up stuff going on, like corruption. Like, most people will be like, yeah, it's probably some stuff going on. But most people aren't going to go to the extent of, like, trying to actually understand that.
Well, it's also, how many people do you think actually read the ingredients? And actually read the nutrition facts?
One of a thousand.
Because I can tell you...
1,000, you think?
One of 1,000.
No, like one out of 1,000.
I feel like it's more now.
No.
Because
Because
tough.
Walk around the
also-
grocery store, bro. When do you see the person stopping and actually looking at it?
That's my
They look
point.
on the shelf and then they take it.
You look at
They
the
don't
price.
stop and look at it.
Because it's also... Think about... I think it's...
Because they know their brands, though. You
If
can make
you-
that argument.
Yeah,
They know
that's
what they
true.
want. Know that they
If
already looked at
you
it.
That is true.
drop-
If you've already have looked at it.
Don't quote me on this because I don't know if this is up to date either. But
Okay, so how many one of how many
Used to-
people? Sorry to cut you off. One of how many people look at least, and then if they like what's in the ingredients, then they get the brand too. Is it still 1,000?
If they like they
Like his point was that they might not be looking at the ingredients because they already know what's in it.
Yeah, I mean, if you already know what's in it.
It's like 1 in 999.
if you already know what's in it, you're not looking.
Yeah. So
I
what?
feel like
So
it's probably
with,
like 1 in 500.
See, but I don't think
What were
people
you
are
gonna
looking
say?
like that. But there used
So
to be
Eddie
at
is
some
just
point,
twice as positive as me. Then, if I'm 1 in 1,000.
At some point, if you lowered like your percentage of fat by 2%, you can label it as low fat. And I think it's fixed now, but there were a whole bunch of like the organic tags, the low fat tags, the fat free, it's all percentages. And so if I had 85%, that's terrible, 75% of your daily fat intake, and I lower it down to 25% of your daily fat intake, I can now call this low fat. I can call it diet. I could call it fat reduction.
Wait, from 75 to 25?
Yeah,
But
but
that's a
that's
pretty big jump, though.
still 25% of your daily intake, though.
Oh, in one batch. Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's my point.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And so nowadays, people are looking at that.
I'm not just sure.
Yeah.
People are looking at that.
I
because
held that for a while.
I never finished my nutritionist exam. Procrastinated my way out
Oh,
of
I
that
forgot what happened about that.
Well, I am a certified trainer. But
yeah, but
I never
what
finished
happened?
my nutritionist
What happened to
exam.
that workout plan? It's almost March. I'm still not working out.
How did you Anyway,
Imagine
but one
blaming
of the-
someone else. It's almost March, I'm still out of
He
shape.
did say he would. He did say he would help me out with the plan. So like, it's not my fault that he didn't come through.
I've actually been balling.
I'm
I
joking.
missed yesterday and today because there was a lot of shit going on. But I have been balling, like hitting the court and then running around and
Yeah,
lifting
that's
a little
good.
bit of weights, getting back into it. 'cause
Yeah, I need to get into that. So
yeah,
Calvin
no.
could hurry it up.
People-
They got people who run to that court.
Yeah, I saw it.
I played a
Were you?
little game.
Was that me and you together?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw you balling with the kids.
We're
Yeah.
doing,
Playing 21. And Amber was
Yeah.
swinging.
One kid was a really good shooter.
Yeah, I saw. I was watching a
Yeah, he
little
was
bit.
cash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't
pretty sure I
think
saw you
people are
airball
looking
one
at
day. No.
I did airball twice in a row. at one
Okay, yeah, I saw that part.
point.
I was like,
oh,
damn,
man.
like hit the rim. So.
I'm saying. I also got tapped. Like, we were playing 21, and I probably scored more points than everybody, but I got
Mhm.
reset so many times.
Yeah, but that becomes a thing where if like you're playing 21 and two people realize that the other one might be a little better, then you become almost like a tandem.
And the other dude, the
tap
dude
them.
who was a really good shooter. The other dude had like 7 opportunities to tap him, and he just either didn't do it or missed it. And I was like,
Come
what
on,
can
bro.
I do? You're not resetting him. I'm getting reset.
Yeah,
Nothing I can do. So.
2-on-1 almost at that point.
Yeah, I didn't care though. It was just cool.
Yeah,
to
but
be
it's
out there.
fun.
Hadn't played in a while.
Yeah.
I won in 21 yesterday also.
I didn't win.
You want a mini hoop?
Appreciate you assuming.
It was on the mini hoop.
I mean, you have 21.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
you.
yeah.
All right.
We were freaking.
So what do we
funny,
think?
We were
I wanna-
balling. It was fun.
What do we think is the top 5 like restaurant chains in the United States of America?
In terms of what? Like just personal opinion.
No, just like I'm gonna look it up. Like, what are like the?
Okay.
I go back to in terms of what.
Wait, I
like,
just want to say.
fast
fast
in terms
food.
of-
I just
or-
wanna
No,
say-
like
no.
restaurant. So like
in
restaurant.
terms of like economically, in terms of
I would say the most franchises because that just means if you have the most, that just means you make
most
the,
growth.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, basically, like-
McDonald's is number one.
No, but
Yeah.
that's fast food. I'm talking about like restaurant, like Outback, for instance. Like, like
Well, hold on, real
Does
quick.
Outback
Before we tie the last one off, because I just want to
okay.
put a little bow on it. When the 2012 thing was happening and it was like the end of the world and there was all that stuff happening, there was a few big things that were like the defining changes, and I think they happened. I think the day that the Mayans said the world was ending, it was like whatever that day was, right? When all that stuff was happening and it was like they even had the movie for it. It was like a big thing. I think it was December 23rd. I can't remember.
Wasn't it first?
No,
December 21st,
maybe it was 21st.
That's the winter solstice.
12.
21, 2012. I don't know. Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. 12, 21, 2000. That makes sense.
So
12, 12.
whenever that was happening,
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
there was a couple things that happened in like world politics or whatever. Like one of them was that I think it was through the UN, propaganda was legalized worldwide in any time, not wartime. Because before it was wartime, propaganda was legal. You could make propaganda during a war to get your country riled up, whatever. Now it was like propaganda for any business, whatever, was legalized worldwide. Meaning, you could, as long as you don't get caught, you could advertise a product to any degree, completely lie, like not tell the truth at all. You don't have to. The FDA approved. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be, and get away with it. And there's no law against that.
Did you see the dude that made an ad and sold solar powered drying machine for like $50 or whatever, and people bought it? He would send him just like a clothesline.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty
Funny
funny.
as fuck. So
Got him.
that was the one, and then the other one was that this is the big one. This was for the United States. The United States had this program called the Spider Program that I think it was I don't know if Ed Snowden was the one who leaked it or he created it. I think he might have created it or he leaked it. I can't remember. But Edward Snowden either leaked this thing or created this thing that essentially it's like the 6 degrees of separation law, essentially meaning like I know you guys, so you guys to me are 1 degree of separation. People you know that I don't know are 2 degrees from me, or even people that I'm not as close to, like your mom, for example. Like she's like I know her through you. That's my 2nd degree of separation. That's someone she knows is like the 3rd degree, and then someone they know, and then by the time you get to 6, the whole world's connected. That's what they say. But this program, what it did is it put everyone into these boxes and showed everyone's grid. So what my grid is, they can see who my 1st is, 2nd, 3rd, and every single person is in there, and all the information that's being collected on the phones, everything you type, everything you backspace, everything you send, everything you don't send, everything you record, everything you don't record. Every single thing, whether your phone's on or off, is always recording. It's always listening. Everything is documented and sent to a database. And every single person is classified into 3 different categories. I'm not going to say what the categories are. That doesn't matter right now. But point being is they had this program that they allowed to be legal in when 9/11 happened because they were like, well, we need to figure out who the terrorists are. But they made it so they couldn't use it against the U.S. citizens. So everyone else got it, but we didn't. We were safe, supposedly. And in 2012, they essentially made it legal to turn that on the U.S. citizens. So they say, that's why they say it's the end of the world, because it's the end of the part of the world that we used to have a certain privacy that we don't have anymore. Like everything that I'm saying, if I'm saying something in a certain degree and that becomes something that they want or don't want, they know immediately. They know what kind of person everybody is just in the way you talk and the way you communicate. You know, it's like when you play chess against someone. It's a good example. When you play chess against someone, you can kind of see how good a player they are pretty fast, right? Like it doesn't take long where you know they know what they're doing or they don't know what they're doing. You can kind of gauge where their skill is, unless they're above you. If they're above you, then you have no idea because you're just like, I don't know. But anyone who's at your skill or lower, you know exactly how they're playing or what their thing is. So mannerisms and the way people move, it tells a lot about where their mental space is. So if you can track that, and you can analyze the patterns, and you can classify people into different categories of like, these people are more docile and they kind of just go with what we tell them. These people are unsure and they kind of just go based on what they feel or what their beliefs are or whatever. And these people, they don't believe us. And it's like that. And every person has a different thing. So you have like, these people would be called like disruptors. These people would be like on the fence. And these people are like the cattle. And you have a thing where it's like, okay, if I have control and I own this whole thing, and Ryan is the disruptor, because I'll go in a row, you're the one unsure, and you're the cattle, I'm not concerned about you. I know you have my back regardless, because anything I say, you're going to do it, because you're the cattle. I know anything I say, you won't do it. So my goal is to trick you and to win your favor. But I can't win your favor with me because you don't know I exist. I need to use you to win my favor. So I'll send things to you, and I will send things to you that are good and bad, that are truth and lies. Like, you know the old saying of like, there's two guys guarding a gate, one tells the truth always and one always lies. I'm gonna send truth to you and lies to you so you can't discern the difference. So you don't know what's actually real, what's not. Because that's the only way. Because if you have some real shit that you can be like, oh, I know this is true, then when I give you the bullshit, you're gonna be just as passionate about the bullshit as you are about the real shit. Yeah. Because you found some shit that you found out was true. And then when you see that some of the shit he's saying is not true because he thinks it's true because he has some truth, but he also has some facts, you're going to be like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about because he made a mistake here. He said one thing that was wrong. And I don't. And then you're on his side. And now I win because I have you two doing what I want, and you can't win. Because if it comes down to a fight, it's 2 versus 1.
There are several verses in the Bible that say that exact same thing. Throwing it out. One of those like, but it's I always find it funny though, because I'm somebody that studies it, and so anytime I hear somebody saying something and I'm like, that, like I was told I was told that happened. So, but top 5 restaurants.
Because I'm down to segue. Yeah.
Well, last thing I'll say, I do think that's actually funny. I think about it like, if we were like, if it was like post-apocalyptic, I think it'd be a great movie, or even a short film that we all did eventually. Like post-apocalyptic, and we all have our own characters. Like, I feel like your character and my character, like we have like a lot of the same beliefs. It's just that we like have a different, it's like you walk here and I walk here, but we're walking like the same path. But it's like, but the way we understand it is like speaking, like you speak English and I speak French, but we both are saying
I saw
the same
a picture
thing.
that depicts that perfectly, because it was like a golden road in the middle. One side was super rocky and the other side was like dense woods, and it was like, basically the point of the picture was whichever side, if you only have one foot on the path, you have 2 different experiences to the same goal. That's what I said. It perfectly depicts exactly what you're saying, because it was that like, which side of the path are you walking on, which foot's in the middle. Yeah. So that like a month ago.
To fully circle the whole thing, the reason whenever it comes to like the politics and stuff, I just think it's all bullshit, because I'm just like, they can do whatever they want to do. Like, you can't stop them. Like, they have so much power, and the reason why they have so much power is because when I say they, not everyone knows who I'm talking about. If you know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say they, then there's no conversation to be had, because I can't teach you anything.
There's a lot of people that think they know who they are,
but they don't.
And they're feeding into that lie that's part of the truth.
Because what if it's aliens? What if it's not? What if it's just people? What if it's fucking weirder than that?
What if it's cockroaches?
What if it's cockroaches? The Men in Black aliens.
Ants.
Point being is, I can say...
Fucking sea
The Saints.
The Saints. The Sea Ants.
The Saints. So Eddie had dropped something or left something on the ground, and I'd seen it, and it was like that step right before he got to cleaning it up. So I turned to him and I hit him with the archer line. I was like, do you like ants? This is how we get ants. Then I went to give all of my plants like a shower. I didn't know that the bathtub stopper was down, because I checked it, but it had fallen back down. So I had gone and I had thrown my kid in the other shower, and I was helping him, and I was like, all right, I'll be right back. Run over, and it's like right under the, like, a lot of my plants are like waterlogged, like they're drowning in it. It's right.
Killed them all?
No. Okay, they're all good. I saved them. But they're right under the ledge of the bathtub. So I stop it, and I'm just staring at it like, what the fuck do I do? So I run up to Eddie. I was like, Eddie, do you like scents? And he was just staring at me because there was a whole bunch of dirt and water. And so I was like, this is the perfect. And when he walked in, I don't think he's laughed that hard in a fat
I told you they
minute.
were real. Don't.
Sand struck back.
But
Called a sandstorm. That's what
the
they call
second
it.
movie.
The sandstorm.
struck back. Yeah, it was just a bathtub full of dirt and water.
Yeah.
So that was the dumb thing Calvin did.
Nice.
Top
Nice.
5 restaurants. Like full-fledged.
Okay,
What do you
so-
call those? Fine dining? Not fine dining. Casual dining?
Fast casual.
Casual dining.
But and so are we looking up?
Fast dining?
We're looking up how
Fast dining.
many?
Fast casual.
Is that what it's called?
Fast casual.
How many in the United States? Popularity or how much revenue per?
How
store?
many is boring? Because
So
that's
just-
just like who's the most.
Who
like,
do we think
who's-
has
I
done?
don't like that.
Who do
Most
we think
revenue
has
per
been the
store?
most successful?
Well,
So like doing the best
so
with
most
each
success, I
location
should have
has
it
the
in.
most locations.
Most successful restaurants in the United States?
Does Starbucks count?
I don't think we should.
Well,
I
that's
think we
gonna
should just
include
talk about
fast
it.
food.
Because I feel like if you just look up the numbers, you can easily find the answer. That's not fun.
Okay, I won't.
Like-
I won't search it. But
Like I think I would say let's do most liked because then it's opinion based. We can always just look up the facts.
Okay.
But what's the opinion?
Okay. The reason why I thought we were near Texas Roadhouse, and I was like, you can find a Texas Roadhouse, and I don't know about how like Northwest, but mostly in almost everywhere I've been, you can find a Texas Roadhouse, and there's not a lot of them. They don't overcrowd where you got like one here and one town over. It's like there's one here and there's one like somewhere else in the
They're spaced
state.
very well.
So it's like draws attention. So that's why I feel like they're probably pretty high on the list, but I don't know if they're gonna be in the top 5 or they might be 5. I would say.
It's wild you say that too, because I have a friend who like became a manager, a big like
I know what you're talking
cook
about.
for Texas Roadhouse a couple months ago, and he's already open. He may have been in this position for like 4 or 5 months, maybe. He's already opened like 6 stores.
Wait, are you talking about his name starts with a D?
No,
No, it
No.
starts with a G.
I don't know.
But then
But-
one that starts with D works there.
but
manager
he
now, too.
like
Oh, I know
his
you're
job
talking-
now.
No, definitely not him.
I was like a friend.
Definitely not him. It took me a second to figure out who you're talking about.
His job now is to just go open stores. Like
So
how-
they're opening more and more.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's why. What about Denny's? Where's
I
Denny's
really
at?
don't feel like I see too many Denny's.
Denny's
Denny's
is
is
probably
more popular.
Denny's is fire, bro.
Denny's is fire. I would say top 15 for Denny's, but
Denny's
That's-
lit. Denny's very lit.
okay. So what's contending with Texas Roadhouse then? Olive Garden.
I really don't like Olive Garden.
Olive Garden's not that great.
But how
a lot of people like
people
it.
go though, right?
A lot of people like.
What about
it.
Carrabba's
I was thinking
versus
maybe
Olive Garden?
I like
I
Carrabba's
think
better than
Applebee's
Olive
has
Garden.
Carrabba's beat. I see a lot of Applebee's.
Carrabba's more expensive, or do you think they're?
I see a
Applebee's
lot of
is
See,
better.
There is a
Applebee's-
lot of Applebee's.
If Applebee's was like a restaurant that you could smoke in, because it feels like a restaurant you could be able to smoke
it should
in,
be.
then I would put it higher up on the
It
list.
They
should be.
really should. They should like
Facts.
split every Applebee's down the
Yeah.
middle and have the smoker side.
You have like a rotten apple and like
Like
a
the
regular
friendly-
apple. That's the
That'd be fire.
yeah,
That'd be
dude.
so fire.
It's a
Please
sales
see
pitch.
that Applebee's.
They can take that one.
Look, you sponsor us, you can have it.
Exactly.
Would you guys want to be sponsored by Applebee's?
I was just kind of
Yo,
thinking that.
you know what's-
Yeah.
You know what's
Applebee's.
funny? In the middle of
Sometimes.
I think it's Talladega Nights. In the middle of
Yeah.
Talladega
Yeah.
Nights, they just run an Applebee's commercial in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
What do you say we go get thrown out of Applebee's?
That was probably the deal for them
It's
to be
so
able to do it.
funny. Yeah.
And I was, you just got to run a commercial.
Right in the middle of the movie.
I was
hilarious.
drunk when I said that.
I don't know what, because I don't want. I wouldn't want one of those generic sponsors that everyone has, like ExpressVPN. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that one.
Like that's where the basic
A
like
popular one now is Blue Chew. We talked about it last time.
Yeah.
Blue Chew.
Yeah.
It's
What's
like
that?
It's like
basically
a-
like a chewable Viagra. It's supposed to be like
It's the new
safer.
Viagra.
It's like
El Ranchero.
apparently it's like the company that actually cares
El
about you.
Ranchero.
Apparently,
Oh,
it's like a lot of people are like that.
It's supposed to be.
Blue
I
Chew.
don't know. And it's
So it's like the
funny
blue pill.
because I do.
Does too.
I
Yeah.
put a lot of merit into who a company chooses as their sponsor. Like if I know there are reasons I can't fully with this content creator, now your company also follows those reasons,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that like it
That's
is,
the
I mean,
idea.
a lot of
though.
the-
That's
yeah.
the idea.
A lot of the ones that Joe Rogan does, he actively uses. Like I
Yeah,
use this product,
100%.
and then the ones that he doesn't voice them.
Mm-hmm.
Like DraftKings, it'll just be a DraftKings one, but he doesn't voice it because he probably doesn't use DraftKings. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think, but that's the idea about the brands. I'll say this.
Aligning the brand.
I'm not
with-
gonna say
yeah.
the name because I'm not gonna say the name, but there was like, cause Sprite does this a lot. Like Sprite will have these commercials and they have like hip hop artists, and the idea is exactly what you said. But on the positive side, the goal is you take somebody that, oh, I love Calvin, I'll listen to Calvin's music, I absorb his content, I like Calvin, right? I don't necessarily like this product. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm in the middle, but I like Calvin, so I'll get Calvin to advertise the product to this guy right here,
and I don't like Calvin.
And Ryan doesn't like Calvin. So, but then it was Sprite, right? And
just kidding.
It was the example, but it was like, and the person, you look at the person like, oh, I love this person, and then they align with this product, and then you're like, oh, I love this person, and when I look at this product, now that love shifts to that product unconsciously.
A perfect example of this is Bree's newest camera lens. She's struggling to get it because that wasn't the store she wanted to go through, but the lady she loves, who does the photography she studies,
recommended that one.
Had a link through the store, so she used the creator code to support the creator, but the store isn't holding up the way that she could have just gone to Amazon. She could have just gone to.
Can she return it?
I mean, she's already like handling it.
Okay,
but this is also the second time. Let me throw some shade on Best Buy for a second.
Worst buy.
Fuck Best Buy. Like, I love Best Buy. I've always loved Best Buy my entire life.
Do you love Best Buy or do you hate Best Buy?
But
the real question is, do you fuck things you love?
I've never. It depends on the type of fuck. Sometimes it's a hate fuck.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's
a
passionate fuck. But
sometimes Eddie nods his head at the wrong time. Calvin's like, "Is it a hate fuck?" And he's like,
sometimes it be like that.
But I've never flipped this.
He just caught nodding his head
on an establishment because I went to Best Buy. It was Bree buys her camera online. The second it says it's ready, she puts me as the person picking it up. Like because she was sitting there, woke up early to see if it was ready yet. Right? So the second it drops, she puts me as the person. And this is early in the morning. So I go late in the afternoon. It's like 3 o'clock. 3:30, right? And she puts it in at 10. And I get there, scans my little thing, boop, shows me the thing saying the camera's ready to be picked up, scans the camera, boop, camera says it's waiting to be picked up, goes to click, 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 calls over her manager. And I'm sitting there like, oh, it's the last thing I had to do. I had 5 other things to do in Atlanta. So I was just driving around it, like handling and it was the last thing I had to do for the day. And so I'm standing there, I'm waiting. Manager tells me that because she had changed it to where I was picking it up, on their system, it's waiting to be verified to be picked up. And so I stood there for a literal hour, like just standing in front of these people, making them uncomfortable so that I actually do something about it for a literal hour. And like the same manager kept trying to dodge me, and then I'd talk to somebody else and they'd call him over because I wouldn't tell them I've been helped yet. Yeah. And they'd call the same dude over and he'd walk up, see me, and just and sit there and pretend to do shit, to the point where I walked around so I could see their computer and stood there. Like, I made them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, dude,
nice.
give me my camera. Yeah. So I ended up having to, because
did you get a gift card for all this?
No, I didn't get shit. I didn't get a damn fucking thing. Bree's on the phone with the people. They're saying, oh, it's their issue, they have to approve it. She's on the phone with those little people, and the people are tell them to call us so we can do it, because we need this one number from them. I'm asking them for the number. They won't give me it. He says, give them this number. It is our trump card to allow a package to go. There's, like, it should be the end all be all. They type this in, it'll be it. I tried it. Dude literally said, because he's like, oh, well, that's not going to help. I was like, what do you mean that's not? Like, the people that your boss is telling me, like, put it in. And he was like, well, it's not going to help. I was like, what do you... So it's not going to do anything? He goes, no, it's not going to do shit.
If I was having a bad day and that happened to me, I would have been such an asshole.
Bro. And then they tried to... So they tried to send out this this lady out next. And I knew they sent her out there because I could literally see she wasn't supposed to be in that department. Like, it was blatantly... She was from Geek Squad. So I'm just like, bruh. And so I walked with her, did the same thing. And the second I started talking to her, I walked with her, I was like, excuse me, ma'am. I really need this camera. It's sitting right there, blah, blah, blah. Like, here's, like, trying to explain the situation. Before I could even fully tell her what was going on, she's like, I don't appreciate your attitude. If you raise your voice at me, I'm going to ask you. Like, instant combative, instant defensive. Jesus. Dude in line checking out next to me was like, ma'am, can you calm down? I was like, let's go. Yeah, so I've never flipped this 180 on an establishment, but that moment was so terrible. Like, it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
This happened today?
It happened earlier this week, but I had to cancel it and re-buy the camera.
Best Buy, you suck.
Bought the same fucking camera.
Dude,
he ripped the sticker off it.
They be taxing that with Best Buy too. Best Buy be taxing.
It's not the Best Buy anymore.
No, it's the worst buy. That's what I said.
And so I was so mad. Best Buy gets all of the shade, all of the hate.
I miss Circuit City.
Not taking that spot.
Dude, Circuit City.
Radio Shack.
Do you even know what a Circuit City is?
Radio Shack.
You ever been to a Circuit City?
Mm-mm. When I was real little.
That's what
started. It was Best Buy's
my
competitor, Eddie, basically.
That's what started
back in the day.
Because I remember.
And Best Buy won.
I went to a Circuit City first, and then I went to a Radio Shack like later the same year, and it was more like specific and niche, and that's what really like once I saw the difference in those two stores, I was like, oh, I love
Circuit City's lit.
Technology's
I remember
awesome.
Circuit City used to always be tall, and there'd be stuff stacked up real high, like big speakers like 30 feet in the air. Well, that's how it felt when I was a kid. Yeah.
Top 5 restaurants.
I want to go El Ranchero.
Dude, no way, dude. You don't see El Ranchero.
No
see El Ranchero in Philly? No, bro.
Dude, that's just some Georgia shit. And low key, bro, I'm not even gonna lie. Most of this Mexican food here, it's trash, bro.
It is bad.
Yeah. The best part is the churros and ice cream at the end. That's literally like a while ago. So I'm like, I can get churros and ice cream at the end, and it's gonna be so good.
I think I really only go get Mexican when you're with me because that's what I go for, and usually like Bree won't eat it.
Yeah,
I don't really. The only thing I really like is honestly, I just like to get salsa, queso, and guacamole.
Yeah,
at this point,
the free chips are what keeps a lot of Mexican.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. That's part of the gig.
But I do like the chicken tinga nachos, where they're like the shredded chicken with just cheese and jalapenos.
You know what?
Chimichangas.
Eddie always searched the menu for the entire time looking for something else to get, and when the guy walks up and just orders it, he was like, "I'm gonna get this." The guy's like, "What can I get you?" And he just freezes out. He's like, "Chimichanga."
That's what I call the baby when he's all wrapped up.
How
chimichanga.
Many?
Take the chimichanga.
How many Truth Luau's do you think there are?
There's
none. It's just one.
Not enough.
No,
well,
there's two.
Like
there's two.
It's not.
But dine-in Chick-fil-A, dude. There's Chick-fil-A buffets.
But it's not contending though. Like IHOP is smashing that.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
You know.
I don't know, dog.
I'm not even really a big fan of IHOP.
I don't know.
But just but it's just like
technically Chick-fil-A
what's the
was
general
never supposed
like?
to be fast food.
What'd you say?
Chick-fil-A wasn't supposed to be fast
Yeah,
food.
when Chick-fil-A first came out, it was honest.
They used to serve you.
Chick-fil-A was honest.
They still do.
Well, it's not honest anymore.
They're still supposed to.
It's not honest.
If you just shake your refill.
That's what you used to do, bro.
That's what they're still
when we were
supposed
kids,
to.
just
So
being ignorant.
If you ask for it,
bro,
they're still supposed to.
We would go to Chick-fil-A every day, bro, and my one friend, he would order literally a water cup and a large fry. And if he got the free chicken sandwich on the receipt, he would get a chicken sandwich. And he got that every day. He'd only get the chicken sandwich if he got it for free. And then you would just put whatever you wanted in the water cup.
We used to do a rotation. So the way it worked back then, I don't know how it works now, but the way it worked back then, I think it was 1 in 5.
I think it was 10, 1 in 10, or something like
think
that,
it
or
was
1 in 6.
It was
Maybe
1 in 5 originally. I think it was 1 in 5.
Maybe.
It wasn't higher than that. So, but every receipt roll, it was like, or is every maybe not the receipts, but in the computer system, each system had its own like 1 in 5.
Its own numbers.
But it was like it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So we would all just go in the same line, and they'd be like, "Oh, whoever's next over here," would be like, "No," and it'd be like my little squad, and we'd wait at the same one, and then one of us would inevitably get it.
Yeah. Or what we used to do is you see one person get it, and I would shift lines. Be like, I'm not getting this. I'm not going in this line. You know
that was the good old days.
Yeah,
of Chick-fil-A, dude.
Yeah. And we used to try. We would get out of school at 10:25. So if you made it to your car and across the street in time, you could get breakfast.
Nice.
That was the rush.
We never did that.
Have you guys heard any like real life stories of anybody ever winning the McDonald's Monopoly thing?
Facts.
No.
I think about that a lot.
No.
That takes a lot of storage in my brain because I used to be so adamant that like
It was fun. You would
It was
look
lit,
forward to
yeah.
it.
Yo,
Right.
one day, it's terrible. See, that's the problem, right? I just thought about it. One day, it'd be lit if we just made it our mission to like win the Monopoly lottery. But then it was like,
How much McDonald's you have to
So
eat to
much.
get that?
yeah, but it's like the McDonald's that we're supporting a terrible
Well, the
brand.
most
Well, you will get some payback on it though, because like some of like the coupons that get like a free large fry, and you'll get like
Yeah.
another
And then you
Yeah.
eat more
Play
McDonald's,
again.
right?
And it's not. I don't know.
The only coupon I want is free McGriddles.
right.
I didn't even
Right.
eat. I didn't eat McDonald's for years
And a
up
quarter
until like
pounder. We
last
had
year.
McDonald's.
How many? How many
Yeah.
people was the McGriddle murdered?
The McMurderer.
Yeah.
McDonald's actually opening up like a side business. What was it called?
Oh, I saw this.
McDick.
Yeah, what's it called?
Yeah, I thought it was going on a bit. This is real.
No, it's just real.
No, it
Yeah,
is.
It's like a drink. It's like a drink. It's supposed to like go against Starbucks. Like
Yeah,
compete with
yeah. It's supposed to
Starbucks.
get down with Starbucks.
What?
They're gonna serve like
What?
apple juice and shit. It's like,
It's like a
I'm just
completely
kidding, I
like
don't know.
different name and like
I don't know what the apple
I
juice
can't
is.
remember what it's called.
McDonald's.
Dude,
No.
you know what's crazy? How we found shiny McDonald's before we even knew
We
that
did
it was,
find a
that
shiny
it was a
McDonald's.
shiny. Like, we were
No.
like, dude, this is shiny McDonald's, and then it comes to find out it's the only one in the world.
Is it
Right.
really?
It's the only one in
Yeah,
the world
it's
that's
the
blue,
only
and the
one.
only reason why is because of the architecture around and how like the landscape is and how the color scheme is around with the red, with like the canyons and everything and how the mountains and stuff. There was a law that had to make it blue because the yellow would mess up the color scheme of how the town was and how it looked with the landscape.
Dude, that's
So it's
crazy.
the only blue. It's literally the shiny McDonald's.
So we saw the only blue McDonald's.
And when we said it, we're like, "Yo, shiny McDonald's."
anybody
we
know
didn't eat anything from
why-
it. We walked in there and there was like some there was like,
Dude, no, we walked in there and everyone in there was weird as fuck.
yeah. And we
Everyone
just
in
turned
there
around
was
and
weird
walked
as
out.
fuck.
We're like, "Oh, we saw it."
There's like 8 kids, so there's no parents for these kids. There was like 3 homeless people outside. It was like, what is going on here?
Bro, earlier today, someone walked out the restaurant and looked at me and my dad right and he goes, "Oh, did I hit your car?" And then I look at her, I'm like, "What is this old lady?" And she was like, "Oh, never mind." I was like, "Go home." Like, why are you just announcing it?
But why? Does anybody know what ad campaign McDonald's is running where the M's upside down?
Is they? Are they?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't know it until today because we
McDonald's.
ate McDonald's today, unfortunately. But
I ate it.
Now the joke's on
I
you
ate it
guys.
today,
Did
too.
you get a McGriddle at least?
no, I got a quarter.
got a
Oh
quarter
my
pounder.
we got it
God.
before we came here. We're starving.
The burgers ain't that hot.
Quarter pounder's the only actual meat.
The only
So-
time I'm going to McDonald's is when it's 10:15. I'm like,
I don't think it's
do
meat.
I want it?
I think all of it. I don't
No,
think
the
any
quarter
of it's meat.
pounder. I worked there.
No, it's all garbage.
I'm just saying. I'm letting you know.
Yeah,
Well, I'll
it's
take
a
it.
quarter,
It was
quarter of
real.
it.
It
A
was
Okay,
quarter
hold
of
on,
it is
hold on.
meat. It's like-
Okay, let's just
Quarter.
be fair.
Only
though.
a quarter
I
of
didn't
it.
want to get into
Let's be
this.
fair.
It's
Let's
a
be
quarter meat.
It might appear to be real, but
No. It's McDonald's real meat. You're never gonna.
it's McMeat.
That's my point. Like,
From the land of
an
McMeatus.
establishment like that, you're never gonna reach
The
real
McCattle.
It's not real.
It's not
McCattle
gonna
and the
be- yeah.
McChicken.
What
You're
color
not
does it
getting
need to be?
a Wagyu
The
from
dropper.
McDonald's,
No.
but
Getting a McMagoo.
unless that's what the W's for.
a McNoo.
Yo, it actually could be.
I wouldn't doubt
I
it.
could-
Yo, what's
Wagyu
the
in-
percentages of ice cream machines that are broken at each McDonald's?
They're not
And then what's the
broken.
percentage of that they're not broken?
They're not
and they
broken.
tell you they're broken.
They're not broken.
So many. We went to a McDonald's the other day too. Because once he brought up the ice cream machine, maybe it was.
You should be allowed to contest.
Yeah, like
They
if-
say that it's
if
broken.
I-
You should be allowed to.
So
If
I'll
if
walk
it works,
in-
I get it for free.
Yeah. If I walk around the counter, I saw a video of a dude who actually was like, "Oh,
I did.
can I get a McFlurry?" And she's like, "Oh, the machine's broken." He's like, "Oh, okay." And then when she walks away, he walks around the counter and makes it for himself. He's
And he
like,
puts
"Oh."
a spoon in. He just.
He's like, "Oh, it works fine." It's like if you can do it yourself, you should.
That's
really
it.
get it
I've
for free.
definitely like while I worked there,
That's
there were
hilarious.
definitely times where I was on the intercom telling somebody, "Oh, it's not working," while drinking a milkshake, because it wasn't my call. My boss in the morning would say, "Hey, we're not doing this today.
Why?
It's broken." I don't.
They don't want to clean it.
I think. Ooh. Did it ever get?
You know what's crazy? You want to think about something gross? You know when you go to the gas stations and they have those like machine slushies that spin and it's like a little tank and you see the
Yeah.
color? Those never get cleaned.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And what that means is like they just add more shit to it and what's actually in there, like there's ice in there technically from like it'll be molecules because like essentially the odds of the actual cubes getting out would be pretty high. but there's actual flavoring and ice and shit in there that's like been there for years because they don't actually clean the inside of them.
Dude, we were pretty good. All right, I got the top 25 grossing top 25 restaurant chains in America by sales 2023.
Top 25 gross restaurants.
All right, ready? We had
Panda Express.
and I'm gonna name them all. Okay, so
I like Panda Express.
McDonald's was at 1
Mm-hmm.
with 36.4 billion.
Is it Wendy's?
Starbucks at 2 with 17.9. So that's almost McDonald's almost double number 2 of Starbucks.
Wait, you said
17.9.
36 million
36 billion.
versus what?
Starbucks at 17.9.
That is double.
So double. Subway 11.3 billion.
Subway.
Number 3.
Yeah.
He went
But
to
we were
jail.
also going for restaurants.
Yeah.
So Taco Bell at number 4,
Ah.
9.4 billion.
That's just,
Burger King 9.3 billion. Wendy's 9.1. So very
I would
close
put
between
Wendy's
those.
above Burger King.
Burger King, Wendy's. Dunkin' Donuts at 8.2 billion.
Forgot about
Chick-fil-A at 7.9 billion. Pizza Hut and Domino's 5.8 and 5.3 billion. That's 9.10.
That makes sense.
Now we're starting to get some extra. We got Panera Bread at 11, 4.9 billion.
That's like the first like, if you'd be alright.
Yeah.
Sonic at 4.5 billion at 12. I feel like there's more Sonics closing
Dang it.
down though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where do you think Sonic's most popular? On the West?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. KFC at 4.5 billion, 13. And here we go. First restaurant. Can we guess what it is?
Yeah.
Outback.
14.
Knowing that
Nope.
KFC, Sonic.
IHOP.
No.
No,
I'm
don't
gonna
say it.
say-
Don't
Yeah,
say
I'm
it.
not
Denny's.
saying it. It's
Waffle House.
4.4 billion.
Not Waffle House. Waffle House is only.
It's Southern.
Yeah.
14. It's the first
Dining.
Trying to think of
Restaurant. What
restaurant.
I see the most.
4.4
commercials for.
billion.
Well, it's like a.
It was
casual-
named earlier in the podcast.
Probably
I was gonna say
Applebee's.
Applebee's.
Olive Garden.
Applebee's
I was
it
gonna
is.
stick with
Applebee's it
Applebee's. I was
is.
gonna
Number
stick with
14,
Applebee's. It was
first
just-
restaurant, 4.4. Right underneath of it at 3.9 billion. Can you guess the
Chili's.
next restaurant?
Chili's.
Denny's.
You don't like it.
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Damn.
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden at 15. Next, Chipotle at 16 was
Are we in the
3.8
millions?
billion.
Oh, billions.
Billion still. Buffalo Wild Wings at 17 with 3.7 billion.
Mm.
Arby's at 18 with
Ah.
3.7 billion.
Yeah.
Little Caesars at 19,
Mm.
I like
3.7
Little
Seasons,
Caesars,
billion.
but
Yeah.
it's terrible for me.
Yeah.
20, Dairy Queen at 3.6 billion.
Never been a fan.
Jack in the Box at 21,
Never been there.
3.5
Been a fan
billion.
of Dairy Queen?
Chili's
No.
22, 3.5 billion. IHOP 23, 3.1 billion.
There's IHOP.
Papa John's at 24,
Not
2.9 billion. And at
Pop.
25, who can guess the last restaurant? The only restaurants on here were Applebee's, Olive Garden, and Chili's.
It's a restaurant.
It's a restaurant. It's a lot. There's a lot of them.
Outback. Steakhouse. Longhorn. Is it a steakhouse?
No.
What kind of food is it?
I think they have a little bit of everything, but more morning.
Denny's. IHOP.
I wish Denny's.
What's the pancake one? Is that IHOP?
IHOP.
IHOP was
23.
It's not Waffle House, is it?
IHOP was 23. No,
it
it's not
Cracker
Waffle.
Barrel?
It is Cracker
Oh.
Barrel's.
Kinda
Cracker
know
Barrel
about
at 2.9
Cracker
billion
Barrel,
at 25. So
I
there you
think
go.
about
So
it
that's
then,
it. So Applebee's is the most grossing
I want to go. I haven't
restaurant.
been to Cracker Barrel in like years. I want to go there.
I have a friend who markets.
No one say anything.
I have a friend. I
haven't
know
been
I'm
there
down
one
because I was trying to think of how I'm gonna say this. Well, I have a friend who markets for them or whatever. And on my way back from Maryland, I realized I was like, dude, there's so many billboards for Cracker. Dude, they spend so much money on billboards. Like,
Dude, the thing about Cracker Barrel is like when we would go on road trips as kids, the only time we ever went there when it was like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. So I only ever remember like in the middle of the night and my parents needed to eat, like going to Cracker Barrel like in the wee hours of the night. Like it's
dude,
never
no-
been busy.
and
there.
also we'd only go on the way home. So you want to just get home, and my
Yeah.
mom would be like, "Oh, we want to stop here." Then you're just you're an hour away from home, and then all of a sudden you're stopping at Cracker Barrel.
yeah, you're like, what the hell?
I have
Come on.
2 memories from Cracker Barrel, and I think they're both from the only time I've been there. And it was in the parking lot, because I was like maybe 6, telling my mom I was afraid to go in because I thought we were gonna get hurt inside of a
Felt like
building
ra-
called
felt
Cracker
racist.
Barrel.
Yeah.
And then the second one was the little peg thing they had.
Oh yeah.
Doing it instantly, and everybody in the restaurant losing their mind over it.
The ignorant.
Oh, you weren't an ignorant.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then the checkers outside.
Yeah, they
The
had big
rocking
checkers.
chairs.
Weird.
Those are my only two memories about.
So yeah,
It
Cracker
makes
Barrel.
sense. It does feel racist.
But
as you get
Applebee's,
older.
Applebee's is
And
the number
building,
one.
The building doesn't help
No, yeah, it feels
because
very
this is
racist.
old wood lodge
Damn,
that
Texas
looks like a
Roadhouse,
plantation.
Outback. I wonder where.
It feels like it just snuck by segregation somehow. Like it didn't change. Like when everything else was changing.
It's just like we
It's
always
almost like you get. It's almost like you get a blast.
Super
from it.
loud.
It's like, guys, we're not
Simpler
racist.
time.
I promise.
It's almost like a historic,
Sneaking
like
through
it's a
time.
historic like restaurant where like you get to like enjoy things from the past.
But why is it
you're
called
there.
Cracker Barrel? Is my question.
I don't know why they would keep it like that.
Can we Google that?
barrel of crackers.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Or do
Why
you
is
think
it
it's
called-
a type of barrel? Do you think a cracker
cracker
barrel
barrel?
is a type of barrel that you do a specific thing in?
How did Cracker Barrel get
Cracker
its
Barrel.
name?
It can't just be crackers.
Probably some guy had last name Barrel and some guy had last name Cracker.
I'd vote against that.
Could have named it Bracker.
Yo, we should make this restaurant. Oh, we call it
Cracker.
Cracker because that's your last name.
They
Oh
just-
yeah, we can call it Barrel because that's your last
They
name.
couldn't afford the ampersand.
Barrel is actually a cool last name.
They couldn't afford an ampersand on the sign.
All right, here we
What's the
go.
ampersand? The and.
The and.
Cracker and Barrel. Maybe it used to be Cracker and Barrel. That makes more sense. If the guy's first name is Barrel and he's like really country. I'm Barrel. I'm Barrel.
So,
All
Barrel.
right.
I'm Barrel.
At Cracker Barrel, telling stories is part of who we are.
I don't
In
believe
fact,
it.
our name comes from the days when folks would gather around a Cracker Barrel on the front porch
Okay,
of the local country store and tell
what is
stories.
that's all we need to know. It
Cracker
said
Barrel,
back in the days.
Late 19th century, with reference
What
to
day?
barrels of soda crackers once found in country stores around which informal discussions would take place between customers. So what's a soda cracker?
Is it like
a Cracker Barrel?
is it like breadsticks for the
So there's a
grocery
barrel
store?
of
That
these in
makes
it.
sense.
Soda
like
crackers.
Five Guys
Oh,
peanuts?
saltines?
So it is a cracker. It's
Just
literally a
saltines.
Cracker Barrel, like a barrel of
it's-
crackers.
So it's a barrel of saltine crackers, and
That's
people
really
would just
quite on the
chomp
nose.
on them and get dry mouth and talk to each other about it.
All right.
I
Fucking
guess.
decent things, man.
So that's
I'm
what they
so
say.
dry.
Did they? Is
That's
it
what
cover
Cracker
up?
Barrel
Is it
says.
a cover up? Who knows?
What do you think the best like table food is? Because we touched on the
We need-
chips and salsa.
We need our own Ancient Aliens type sound. You know, like when they say something and then they play like dun 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 that music. Like every time we say something, that's like we just play them. on.
creeping in,
Yeah.
for like a minute, and slowly
No,
creeps in.
no, no.
Yeah, slowly, but like
It's too long.
low, and it gets louder
We need a
less in the last
soundboard.
15 seconds. All of a sudden, you're listening, you're getting like intense, like what's going on?
We should get a soundboard, just a live soundboard.
Yeah, it'd be
That'd
cool
be
to.
funny.
Yeah, we should.
Well, actually, technically, even in the Logic, there is a soundboard in there. We could run a
need
mini
that
keyboard.
soundboard.
We could run that little mini keyboard over there, and you
We
could
could.
have the sounds, and
Yeah,
you can
sure.
mark which ones are. Which.
I have a mini whatever that thing's called. I'll show you.
With
but
the
I feel like
keys
it'd
on
work.
it.
No, one of the pads.
Oh, the beat pad.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you buy one?
No, I was going to. I didn't buy it.
Oh.
That would work pretty well for
See,
us.
my piano, my MIDI keyboard that has the beat pad and all the dials, I originally hooked that all up, but then every time you load up Logic, it takes like an extra like 30 seconds, 40 seconds to load it up because that's to load all the programs. So I just deleted it. I was like, fuck that. I'm not gonna wait 30, 40 because I thought about it. I was like 30, 40 seconds every time I load it up. Like that adds up.
Yeah,
And
but
how many
the
times have I opened it up?
increasing every time you use it and touch it, you're increasing the quality for that added up 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So imagine if I said if you spend 5 minutes longer on this song, it's gonna be this much better.
But would it be that much better if I?
And
You
don't
don't know
know if
yet.
you don't spend the 5 minutes. That's my point. So when
I
you
did
put
it for a little bit.
when you put it in that perspective, right? If I said if you were
still didn't listen.
if you were getting up
Yeah.
out of the chair and I was like, hey, I know for a fact, like I've seen the future, if you spend 5 minutes longer on this song, it's going to be this much better. Are you going to sit
Yeah, I
there
would
for
do
that
it.
5 minutes?
Of course.
So what is the difference? 30 seconds a day.
Well, no, it's not 30 seconds a day.
Well,
because
30 seconds every time you boot it up.
every time you open a new thing, it's like, okay, so I close a file and then open a file. But dude, like when you're mixing, when you're doing an album,
No,
whatever,
no, we'll give you
it's
that
like
one.
you drop this one, then you pull this one up, and then you drop this one. It's like, dude, like the amount of time I would have spent from that moment, because that was years ago, I would have spent
Well, then you just got to
probably
figure
days.
out. You got to figure
There's
out.
a
Wait.
way. If there's a way you could.
That's
the
a
best
turn
would
it
be a
on and off.
preset.
Yeah.
Be able to like let me load up this set of.
Yeah. I'm sure if I
Oh.
spent more time on it, I could have probably.
Yeah, it probably could
but
Should make it
I was
happen.
like, nope.
Should
Do
make
it
it
out.
happen.
We could if we
Put it on
wanted
the
to.
list.
I'd have to look up how to,
To
do it.
answer
again.
your
It's a while
question
ago.
though, Calvin, I would say pretzels.
Pretzels are the
pretzels
best.
are the best.
What was
table
it?
Pretzels
food.
are nice.
What was the
I
question?
think it depends on the sauce, though.
What
The
was the
best
question?
table food
You said you
for
want
restaurants.
Calvin to turn you into a pretzel? That's what you said?
No, we're asking about what.
Nah, I know what the question was. Like, what's the best table food?
If I owned a restaurant,
Yeah, what are you putting on your table? You're in charge of a restaurant.
Peanut,
on your
like the
table?
peanut ones inside.
I thought about
peanut
peanuts,
butter
but then
ones
now people are allergic. All of a sudden, so.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, all some people care.
When
that
I was a
people are
kid, you could
allergic.
bring a peanut butter jelly to school.
Yeah, and the peanut kids would get ostracized to the corner while everybody ate them.
Go eat at the
part of
peanutless table then,
Yeah,
boys.
exactly. We live in a society
I'm
where
just kidding. I never really had
everybody has
peanut butter
to- where
as my meal. I
the
didn't like it really much.
majority has to cater to
The
the.
minority. Actually, I really don't think that's a big problem.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's probably
not.
best.
For most
It's probably for the
situations.
best. Like, if
But,
you want,
but you know
There
what
are
I
some
think?
you can
though?
just make them a PBJ
I
when
do
you get home.
think though, if you're gonna ban, if you used to ban kids to the side for being allergic to peanuts, and now you're like no one can have it, you should give people an option to go sit in the corner and do peanut
And
butter
eat
jelly
peanut butter,
sandwich.
yeah.
They want the peanut
True,
butter. It's
you
like
should
go
be able
sit
to
over
ban
there.
yourself to be able to
Yeah,
eat peanut
yeah.
butter.
You shouldn't be like, no, you can't
100%.
have it now. It's like
This
what?
is the
That didn't make
peanut
sense.
butter
Whole-
I didn't do
table.
anything
Like
wrong.
sanitation aspect, yeah.
We each take a bite of the Reese's together at the same time.
Sharing one Reese's.
Yeah, the entire
Oh my
table.
god,
yeah.
no Reese's cups. I don't think Reese's cups are that good.
No, they're
Hot
not that
take.
good.
I
like
I'd
Crunch
be
Bars
really
way better.
sad if I couldn't have Reese's cups. Those are my favorite.
Oh,
I like.
really?
I
Yeah.
definitely would take a Kit Kat or a Crunch over Reese's.
Honestly, I
Or
don't.
Twix.
I don't
Twix
have
are really good too,
either. It's probably my taste buds, but either the way that they're made is different from when I was a kid, or my taste buds are way different now. Because when I eat those now, they honestly taste gross to me. Like
What, the Reese's
all
cup?
that shit,
Oh yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it does.
It's all tastes gross. It has like a nasty taste.
I don't really eat candy at all. Like I haven't eaten it.
I can eat the gummies, but if I eat too many gummies, I've been eating Airheads, and they've been
Oof.
making me constipated, low key.
Oh yeah, dude, you got that.
Like you eat too many of them.
stickiness,
I say like,
slabbed
well,
up.
like the poop is fine, but it takes me like 8 hours, like or 8 or 9 hours where I'm finally pooping. Then it's just a mountain. Like
it's just a one
it-
strip.
like it
of
breaches
that.
the water. Like it's a whole thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a pyramid of Giza.
Well, it's just gooing up it all together.
But
in
the thing
one
is, it's
ball.
Let's
not.
cut to
It's
a
not
clip.
slop though. It actually looks pretty good. Like it looks.
Cut to a
healthy.
clip of
Let's
it
cut to a
gooing
clip.
together.
It's like that. It's like literally a pyramid. And it's like little pillars.
The air is just holding
I'm sure that
hands.
viewers
The stones.
listeners appreciate the
And that's how I knew how the pyramids were made.
organization of Jason's bowel
Those
movement.
airheads.
Some
like-
big giant shit out the bricks. That was that.
Shit and bricks.
Shit.
Podcast 26.
I'm gonna say they either use their minds
What
to
was
move
it?
the stones,
What
But they
Or
smell really good.
they just thought
the
of
poops,
they
they're
thought of it
airheads.
and it happened.
He's shitting bricks.
The Airheads.
You shouldn't say that.
They're-
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. He's shitting rocks.
Yo, how do you guys?
Y'all,
No,
y'all
no.
don't know
That's
what movie
wrong.
is that? It's a National Lampoon, Christmas Vacation.
I've not seen
I
it.
don't know.
You never seen it?
I know the
You
cover.
said national what?
What?
I know the
National Lampoon.
I think I've seen
You
it.
don't know-
National Lampoon.
So you don't know
It's
about
a
National
Christmas
Lampoon in
movie.
general?
It's a what?
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's
National
Christmas Vacation.
Lampoon. Am I
Yeah.
saying that?
National Lampoon is an entire
Lampoon.
Yes.
Yeah, Lampoon.
It's
like lamp.
It's like
Like lamb.
think like Monty Python.
Like
Okay.
how there's
Oh, yeah.
all the different Monty Pythons.
Yeah, yeah.
National Lampoon's one of those.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
I know what
They're
the
amazing.
cover of the movie looks like, and I think I've seen
Wally
parts of it on
World.
TV.
National
I've not seen
Lampoon.
it.
But
What
every
the-
year I see it, and I just decide not to
Comment
watch
down
it.
below. Do you know what National Lampoon is?
No.
How many of those movies?
We
have
should
you
do a
seen?
poll.
we
need
also
those
have
polls.
speaking of that, we haven't had any new comments, so
Mm.
Guys.
nothing to shout out right now.
Comment down below for me.
We need
Let
to,
me know
we should
because
go-
I need to know if it's just like, am I the only? Because my entire family used to watch that movie together.
You know-
Like that was like right after
What?
A Christmas Story. It was Christmas.
Spit it out.
I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt. Wait, what do people do on?
Blah.
What do people?
Yeah, look at this
What do people do on Twitter nowadays?
On X.
guy. On X, yeah.
It's called X now.
It's
Yeah,
on-
it's called
Elon
X.
bought it, called it.
I thought-
X.
So there's no more Twitter.
Bro, you know why,
No more
dude?
Twitter.
When he changed the name,
It's still Twitter.com.
he was able to use like the 26. He basically changed the name, and because of that, he like lost like 26 billion. And he used that losses to like cover his other taxes on his other companies and shit. So he was just by changing the name. I don't know all the workings, but that's like.
Well,
part
think
of
about
it.
all the paperwork that have to be changed.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
a big ass company. Do all that.
Okay, so what do people do on X?
I don't know.
I think it's still
No.
similar.
Because remember when the polls were a thing? I don't know if people still do that. They're like, oh, do you like apples or bananas?
so.
And you click it.
Yeah, I think it's still more the same. Where it's
We
like
should do polls.
you can find like you should find videos you probably shouldn't be able to find on there, like just scrolling. And then one thing I think he did was he limited the amount of tweets you could see a day. I don't know if that's still a thing, but for some time he
Can't
was
you
like,
buy your check now?
you can only you have to pay
You have
for
to
it.
pay for it.
Yeah.
There's no just getting it.
No, you have to pay to be verified.
Yeah.
Oh, lit.
Anybody can.
Like consistently.
You
pay?
can.
Yeah.
You can have a blue check with 3 followers.
That just feels gross.
That's the point. At least I think.
Because like, oh, anyone can get it, but really you're just getting a monthly. That's your Netflix free. They don't even have Netflix free.
No, they don't.
But that's
And they're
like
charging you
that's
more.
like, oh, do you want to get the free version or like the paid version?
Yeah.
With disguising it with a blue check.
And it's still
Sinister.
the same. There'll be like a account that has like no followers, and there'll be 30 accounts of the same tweet. They
You know
all
what we
get...
should do? We need to get super poppin' and have no blue check just to rebel against the system.
There's some people who don't pay for it.
If I was like super big, I would.
But at that point, if you already have that many followers, like
you know what
don't
people
need
used to do before you could, when Twitter was like newer or not, I don't know newer, but when like now, you know, when like they have the picture above, I don't know what it looks like now, but like when I used to, like, I don't know, it's like your banner,
The banner.
and when you pull down on the thing, it shows more of the banner. Before you couldn't do that, right? It was just a picture of stationary. So people would make a picture that the blue check was lined up because your name would be on there, and so when they moved it, it would go with it. So it just looked like, yeah, I did that. It looked like you had a blue check, and then they changed it and you couldn't do it anymore. So.
True.
But I don't know. I thought maybe people would use Twitter. I don't know, or X.
People do, yeah. I'm sure it's still a big platform.
The thing about Twitter is like last time I was on there, people just complain about shit, and then it's like everyone's giving opinions that nobody cares about. And it's really looks sad.
I mean, it's still the same. Like the platform is for you to.
Well, like, because
a
I
thought
see
into
the reason
text
I
and
say
things.
is because I see people on Instagram, but I don't ever see people on Twitter.
What time is it?
Like I don't look at someone's phone.
11:52.
I know it's Kita's birthday in 8 minutes.
Okay, so we can wrap this up because you guys look like you're losers and need to get home soon, and you don't want to be on the podcast during your birthday.
I'd
So,
rather say happy birthday. Yeah.
2 things I want to ask you. One,
shit.
how do you
Caller.
feel?
want to.
Congratulations, The Guru out now, all platforms. Jason's album. How do you feel about? Just a quick word. How do you feel about it being out?
I always have a postpartum depression every time I drop an album, so that's how I feel.
Okay, and then you've also become a dad. So how does that feel in the past?
That feels great, and it actually feels better.
And it's been like a week now. So how has the first week been as like for all the future dads or the new dads out there?
First week, honestly, my experience. This would be a long story. My experience
Just
is much
we can bring it
different-
up next time if we want.
Is
but-
much different than like the average person because I didn't become a dad where I had no kids because I have a stepchild.
Yeah.
So for me, I was a stepdad first. So I already had that stuff going. So it wasn't like, oh shit, I'm a dad now. It's like I feel like I already kind of went through that. Like I'm responsible for this child. And even more so in a care where you're like, this isn't my, like it's not my blood, especially when I'm first introduced to this child. It's like not my blood. So I'm like, you're trying to navigate where your space is, like where like how much do I be like a role model, how much am I supposed to be like this person, how much do I be this person. So I already kind of went through a lot of that already. So now I just feel I'm just like the only difference is that it's just a baby, and this is my baby and it's my blood, but it's like it's just a baby. Like I don't know, it's a difference. Like this child was 5 when I met her, this baby was newborn when I met him, but it doesn't feel any different.
True.
So that's my answer for that. So I didn't get like my experience is very unique because I didn't
Makes sense.
Yeah. So.
All right. Episode 26.
But it feels great though. It does feel great
All
to have
right.
a little bundle of joy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
definitely
he smells
beautiful.
amazing.
It's a beautiful thing.
He smells really good. I like
All
the
right.
smell.
Shout out to
Go
Love,
Power Rangers.
Procreation.
Yeah.
Elevation, Ocean Waves 26 in the new studio,
Calbino.
Indigo Ryan the Navigator. Half of this podcast was setting it up, so but it feels
Cindy
good.
Twin.
Yeah.
The
Guru,
Kin.
if you knew.
How does
Comment.
that? Okay, one last. How does everyone feel about the new studio? How does everyone feel?
I love
in
it.
here?
I like the setup. It's
Feels
comfy.
better.
I think it feels good.
It's not bad.
I think we can also lock eyes easier
It's not
too.
bad. Yeah,
so
a
it's
little
better.
bit.
I'm not breaking my neck
Comment
looking
down
at
below
you
what
for
you
an hour.
think.
Break my neck.
So
it's
I
more
want to
this.
know, did you know about National Lampoon? If you didn't, go look it up.
Yeah.
At Christmas time.
Recircle back. Did you know about Peggle? I don't know if you commented. I don't think you commented on that one yet.
Dope.
Did you know about the Dino game?
Did you know about the Dino game?
Did you
Know
know
about
that
Sans?
The Guru is out now on all platforms? Go stream it. Ocean's on Arrival. Ocean Waves, episode 26. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you.
Peace.
Watch out for them scents.
I'll be down to get more into those questions.
Yeah, we can
time,
next
though.
time.
Yeah.
It's all right.